Look at me tripping me, thirsty. Hey. What is up, you guys? Let me go ahead and get the hair pulled out the bonnet so I'm not over here looking like who shot John. Y'all ignore the progress. This is the presentation's coming, okay? Let me just get cause your girl's been laying in bed. You know, it's Sunday chill day over here. Okay. So, okay, am I gonna leave it all on this side today? I think so. I think this is how I'm gonna leave it today. So, your girl, hey, how you doing, everybody? Your girl's going live. We got so much to talk about. I went MIA for a couple of weeks, so I didn't really chance to catch up on a lot of stuff. But also, like, as I was catching up on Real Housewives of Atlanta, when I tell you the roof fell in when it came to just all these acting a certain way, and literally we got Cardi B dealing with stuff, Megan Thee Stallion dealing with Tory Lanez, you got Halle dealing with DDG. It was just so much happening back to back, and I just did not have time to already make a video and post it. So I just said, let me just go live because I've been trying to go live more or whatever. So nonetheless, let's go ahead and get into the topics. Those of you who are joining, thank you. Appreciate you for tuning in. Let's go ahead. Let me pull up some of the things that we're going to be talking about today. Let's see. Who do I want to go ahead and get into first? Let's see. Do I want to do Halle, DDG, Cardi, or let's go ahead and do, let's see. Let me go to the shade room. For the neighborhood talk. Let's go to the shade room first. Because now, can I just say, Aaron Pierre, that's Mufasa. Okay, Aaron Pierre and Tiana Taylor, this picture that they have on the shade room. Okay, y'all look at this. I guess it was his birthday. I don't know whose birthday it was, but y'all see him and y'all might but y'all see that? Y'all look at that. Giving real 90s brown sugar, babe. Okay, real 90s brown sugar. Because y'all know they worked together on her music video. She's getting ready to drop an album, it seems, it looks like. So I'm super excited for Tiana Taylor to be dropping her album. So when she dropped that little clip, the visual with Aaron Pierre, Mr. Mufasa, oh yeah, that definitely got everybody's attention. But DDG, you guys, DDG is now, he's now suing, trying to get basically like the custody revoked from, trying to get the custody revoked from Halle before she goes to Italiana. She's supposed to go to Italy to work on she's going to Italy to work on the new movie with, her co-star. But DDG basically tried to report into the courts that she's unstable. She's not worthy of like being with their kid by themselves. She's having a mental health crisis. She's crazy, how it's always niggas do the most effed up stuff. And then when the girl finally reacts and she start acting buku crazy, banana Cocoa Puffs, now it's like, oh, look, over there, she crazy. Look, oh, she crazy. She's slashing tires. Oh, look, she crazy. She popping up, at his house unwarranted. Now, granted, are those crazy actions and maybe she shouldn't be doing? Yes. But also, it's crazy the fact that you thought you were finna cheat on this girl while she's literally pregnant and then think that's not going to cause her to have some type of, mental incapacitation at some point. Like, then he posts these text messages, which this whole thing with DDG is like he's slowly kind of like rolling the ball out because he needs something new to discuss every other week. That's the unfortunate problem about when you are a streamer or, you work on social media. It's specifically in their category, like being streamers and stuff like that. There's always this notion of like you have to find the next thing, to catch on or the next thing to talk about. And DDG's always going to have the next thing to talk about as long as he's doing something to Halle. And it's definitely something he's already discussed before. He mentioned that he wouldn't mind, as he said in his song, sometimes I fantasize about texting a tweet to F it up. When she was out there playing with Little Mermaid and she had the co-star, he literally put that out and was like, oh, she's upset with me working with other females, but I'm supposed to just sit back and watch her kiss on set. Are you comparing, really, her acting, right? Actual role that she was hired for? You're trying to compare you having to sit there and watch her play a character on screen to you, purposely, intentionally, voluntarily, whatever, you're working with another female in the studio, on the studio, whatever. You're supposed to compare those things. Like, this fool is batch cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. So I know. Oh, bad baby, don't do it. Don't do it. That's not. I'm just not seeing. Um. Yeah, bad baby. She was commenting on DDG and was like, "What baby daddy would make his first baby mama look crazy?" Girl, you got a lot to say, bad baby, because we know yours definitely made you look crazy. Because didn't he? Didn't you have cancer and he was out there doing all that stuff with all that other chick? I know I'm not tripping. Baby, you were going through cancer and then this fool was laying hands on you and everything. Like, what? But don't no man want to make his baby mama look bad. Girl, shut up. You still got some growing to do. Let me see if I can find the clip or find the post where it said what DDG tried to tell the courts, or if it'll show the text messages, because I thought I had it saved on the Shade Room. But let me see if it's on here. Oh, here's another thing too. So this was on the Shade Room as well, because this is something that he put. He said, oh yeah, the mom. I forgot. Okay, so this is another thing too. The mom is coming forward, and of course she's speaking out on behalf of her son, because behind every is his mama being accomplice. And she basically reportedly spoke out about Bailey's behavior towards the streamer. Now her comments are sparking more conversation on what's going on behind the scenes. Toya Granberry, his mom, has added another layer to the situation, seemingly filled with serious claims of emotional tension and legal drama. According to the court documents, DDG submitted images of showing that Halle allegedly used multiple hidden air tags to track his movements. Now, one would say that's crazy. Like, why are you putting air tags in your child's stuff? You just being crazy. She's just trying to keep up with where he at. But y'all, people out here is crazy. And I'm Halle Bailey of Chloe Bailey, the what do they call, the understudies of Beyonce. Why would I not want to know where my child is at all times? And so she's also mentioned about DDG at some points in the relationship, basically using Halo as kind of like I don't want to say bargaining chip, but making it extra difficult to locate him, or making it super hard to, co-parent with him. And so if I know I have a baby daddy that's like that, I'm going to do whatever I need to make sure my child is safe. And putting an air tag in the child's diaper bag is not, of all the things that could really be considered crazy, I find that to be the least of, honestly. But the fact that that's even being used, it's kind of like, okay, she did that, but what happened before that would cause her to make such grandiose actions, you know? So after he submitted those, he also filed for, basically it's like a restraining order, like a last minute restraining order. And the court basically was like, psych, you thought because if you were seriously concerned about your child's well-being, why are you waiting until now? You're posting pictures from a year ago. That's like the crazy part. Everyone's like, oh my God, see, it's not just DDG, it's both of them, it's both of them, da da da. You see, I didn't want to believe that, you know, baby mamas could be crazy. And Halle, she's just as violent as him. She's just as, you know, as abusive as him. And it's like, oh my God. First of all, I'm gonna need some of y'all people to Google reactive abuse. Okay. Google that firstly. Secondly, because this girl was postpartum and is doing a lot of these things, she literally verbatim in a lot of the text messages was screaming exactly what we would expect in this situation. She's quite literally saying, like, you know, help me, come be with me. I feel like I'm not being supported. You know, I just had a baby and you're cheating on me. Like, she was going down the gamut of what her emotions were in the moment. And so, DDG, you're posting it thinking that it's going to like vindicate you. But you, just like Karen Huger, you look stupid. Like, you weren't vindicated of nothing. All it literally did was just like prove even more about the type of baby daddy that we already figured you were gonna be. Like, you're cheating on her, you're not telling her where you are with your kid, like you're basically abandoning her in her most, you know, needed moments. When a woman is pregnant or literally trying to give birth to your child, the crazy part is she's carrying your child and you're treating her like straight garbage, like garbage, okay? And then wondering why her mental health is unstable. And she literally was like in the text messages, like, you know, I'm gonna like, basically, I'm gonna off myself. I don't want my son to be here. And even in the midst of all the crazy moments that you said that she was doing, she was even thinking so much about not having her son there. She wanted you to come get Halo. But he said in essence that she showed up to his house in the cold rain, whatever, outside, knocking on the door, but he didn't want to let her in because he's got, you know, some pum-pums at his location, at his house, and he didn't want her to grab it and do nothing. Okay, if that's the case, why didn't you grab your son and send her on her way? You were so concerned about your son, but at the moment in which you literally had your son right there on your doorsteps, you didn't grab him. You were concerned enough for your safety not to let Halle in the house, but you sure wasn't thinking about your sons. Like, just like literally anytime these dudes constantly are trying to prove like, oh, you know, it's about the kids, about my kid, about my kid. No, we can read through it. People, like, we need to start calling stuff as we see it. Like, especially a lot of times for men, they will, you know, bestow upon the actions of very misogynistic things or very you know, not only misogynistic, but, you know, just very objectifying things. Like, they don't want to carry the title of misogynistic, but then act that way. And so when you are literally being the example of a definition of a word, we're going to start using that word and calling it what it is. Like, and a lot of times, a lot of men know that having a baby with a woman is the easiest way to have a connection to her. Convince her, you know, that we're going to get married, have it all, da-da-da-da. Especially if you're a woman of some type of, you know, stature, background, and everything, which is why when she first got with her, girl, we were trying to tell you, leave it alone. Just trying to tell you, Halle, leave that motherfucker alone. Little girl. Now, little girl. Now, little girl. Okay, listen to Auntie. Little girl. Try to tell you. Leave that nigga alone. But, hey, you know, some people only learn by experience. That's just what it is, you know. And unfortunately, especially as a woman, it's like the coming of age, trying to figure out not just yourself, how to operate in relationships, how to operate, you know, with your body, figuring out your sexuality, like all of these things, especially now, and then throw that into doing that in, you know, the spotlight. I'm sure that's why a lot of it for Halle was like, you know, I'm in the spotlight. People are just saying stuff because they want to just hate on me, or, you know, because, you know, it's social media. People are going to say negative stuff. But in the midst of, you know, social media sometimes always having a lot of noise, the internet really be getting it right. Like, did we get it right or not when we told her what was going to happen with DDG? Okay, right. So yeah, some of us were trying to. It's like we didn't want to say "I told you so," but like, god dang, this is literally playing out exactly like how we expected, if not worse, because it's like it's like the constant dragation in the social media of like him not truly wanting his kid. You know, how he's offered for you to take your kid while she's out of the country. You didn't want him. Like, what? You don't want him while she was out of the country. And then now you sitting there talking about like, oh, I can't get my son. Please don't take my son. You writing songs and stuff like that. Like, this man literally told us how he felt in the song before the second song that he did, talking about don't take my son. Like, to really write down and record a song about how you would want to sabotage your person, the person that you say you love, the person that you want to be with's career. I think I need y'all to deep that. So yeah, everybody else who wants to stand up for DDG, like, y'all can kick rocks to open toe shoes, honestly, if you ask me. But from one just woo child ghetto situation to another, let's go ahead and get into Cardi B and Stephon Diggs and Offset. So I'm sure a lot of y'all already know what's going on with Cardi B, Offset, Stephon Diggs, but I just haven't really had my chance to get my little 2 cents on it, okay? So basically, we know Cardi and Offset are donezo, finally. It's like, you know, every time, you know, a woman say, I'm done with it, I can't stand you, nigga. Then, you know, how Cardi was on the, I can't stand you, nigga. I can't stand you. That's why I hate you, Jody. It's just giving real even. That's why I hate you, Jody. And then 2 seconds later, oh, Jody, like, I love you. And it's just kind of like, the story of ghetto toxic love. And that was definitely Offset and Cardi B. We knew of all the things that was going on in their relationship of, you know, him messing around and, you know, being with other women. And just us as social media knew of 3 times. This is what we knew of because it was revealed of 3 times. So if we know of 3, then we definitely know he definitely had about 9, 10, 15 infractions against Miss Cardi B. But of course, as she is a woman of, you know, under the same conditioning that Halle is under, this idea of like, oh, having the baby's going to change him. Oh, having the baby's going to bring us together. No, ma'am. It will quite, in fact, do the opposite. It will make that nigga run the opposite way so far. And it's because you now go from being, you know, fun, spontaneous, to being the girl of leisure, to now an obligation, now a responsibility. What's up, Joseph? Thank you for tuning in. Appreciate it. We just over here talking about the topics I missed. But yeah, what happens is you now become an obligation, a responsibility. And boys, that is something a lot of these niggas run from, is responsibility. Because it's like this idea of like having these things, like, because they're in their mind, they're thinking, shoot, oh yeah, have a wife, have a house and kids, a pet, and, you know, whatever, the dog. And it's like all of us are sold that like thing to look up, you know, in the fantasy bubble sky of the fantastical fallacies. And when men get those things, i.e., you know, a wife and kids and children and a house and a dog, and then they actually have to upkeep it, now they in too deep and realize, oh shit, this is a lot to handle. And then now all of a sudden it's, you know what, let me just Homer Simpson up out of this, you know, back up in the bushes. And then the woman's left to deal with the leftover damage and rubble, and then she's the one to blame because she, quote unquote, should have picked better. No, the nigga was wearing a mask. He was a fake phony baloney. That's what that was. And so not only that, people change. I think one thing that especially men aren't really a lot of times thinking about is how humans aren't constant. Humans aren't linear. So this could have been the way the man started in our relationship, but at any point he starts to change and starts behaving another way, you know, that's the responsibility that's on him. And then I'm supposed to, as the woman, just move accordingly. And so if he changes from being this type of human to a shittier version, and he's refusing to become a better version of himself, then I, as a woman, have the decision to say, you know what, I'm gonna head out. No SpongeBob. Like, I'm gonna head out. This is my call. This is the last call for me. I'm gonna take my last little shot and roll out. But nonetheless, Cardi finally rolled out. Dun, 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 okay. So she's been out there with Stefan Diggs, moving and shaking. They was on the boat partying. She was basically throwing hands on her man. And Offset's doing the little subliminal tweets, okay? You know how Cardi say, guess I'm a teacher since you would have subbed me, all right? He clearly was just over there hurts. And he made a post talking about today I passed. And then Stephon Diggs basically posted a picture with his like gloves and with like the ball, and it was like basically it was like I'll never drop a ball or something like that. And Sarah was like, we see, okay, just like Austin's petty, so is he, okay? So they basically having petty wars right now on social media until I guess somebody posted an old picture of their son or what. But now everybody's like, oh my God, Stefan has the same hair as Cardi's son. And I was kind of like, in the back of my head, I was like, ain't nobody finna do. Like, a hairstyle is a hairstyle. So as most hairstyles do, like more than one person is gonna have it. And so in my mind, I'm like, if the baby had a hairstyle, Cardi probably been had it done because she a mama that's gonna make sure her kids have her shit together. Like, it's time for his hair to get done. It's probably on routine. Every 4 weeks she have a braider come through and do her son's head. So, but people were doing some digging and basically were like, the son's hair been braided like that before. So like, miss me with that. But that doesn't mean there couldn't have been a chance that maybe Stefan was trying to be messy, giving real, I'm your daddy now type situation. He could have been trying to be messy, and then that maybe wasn't on Cardi. He saw that, the son's hair was done like this and, did it. Or Cardi, from also rumor said like, basically referred the braider. That can be a situation of where she's like, that's her style. That's the type of hair that she do. There's so many different variations, but all of them, Offset's mind still ended to, since you want to play with my son, if somebody, died and I'm the crash out, and it's like, nigga, like, over your son. But when's the last time you seen your son? That's the question. When's the last time you seen your offspring, Offset? Like, you're mad, but when's the last time you even seen your child? Matter of fact, when's the last time you put your child to bed? When's the last time you helped your child with their homework? When's the last time you potty trained a kid? See, all of those things that, men forget that are part of the process of raising kids. And so that's why when Cardi was over there screaming on her little Twitter talk space or whatever, like, you could really hear to her voice, like, you really have the nerve to be around here spreading this lie of like, oh, I'm a bad mom, I'm a bad mother, but like, nigga, come up off that coin, because I'm the one paying for everything. I'm even paying for the house that I'm not even staying in, that you over there staying with your, okay? And I'm not even doing nothing just because I want my own peace so bad. I want to be left alone so bad. So I have my time to go out, do what I got to do, go do business, work, have a little fun time of my own, because I done got me a new, he a football player, so the stamina is given. Okay, I ain't messing with a little leaned out, drugged out nigga no more. I'll say, he out of shape, and he clearly is gonna be struggling with ED at the wazoo, because that lean and all that them chemical drugs, they do stuff to your rectilia area. Okay, so the prostate for a lot of these dudes don't be healthy, but when you're a football player, stamina's on point, energy's on point, which means, in the famous words of Smokey, he knocked the dust off Dylan Z. And that's what Cardi was looking for. So in this essence of this, I don't think Cardi is looking for or knowing that this is going to be anything serious. It's just giving, let me have fun. Like I've been cooped up. Cardi dropped the song. Basically, she said, I've been cooped up for a long time. Like, let me go. Let me at them because I'm not dealing with this shit no more. I don't have to. And that's another thing, like dudes in their mind, why they love to be playing blindsided of their woman leaving. You convince yourself that she wasn't going anywhere. That's what happened. You convince yourself with a lie, like she can't go nowhere. She can't leave me. She don't like she don't have to leave. Like she's not gonna leave. I know why she's not gonna leave because we're married. That's a hard thing to say. We got business together. We got kids together. When men start effing up and then their woman is asking to change and they're not in the mood to actually do the inner work to change, they start bargaining themselves in their head of like all the reasons why she won't leave if I continue to not change. So they convince themselves she's not going anywhere because, we got businesses, we got kids, we've been together for, 6, 7, 8, 10, 12, 15 plus years. It's just like all of these things that they feel like are strings forever connecting them together, which is why a lot of men throw kids in the equation because they know that is a very sensitive, emotional string there, in which a lot of women don't want to disconnect that, and so that's why we realized the new gig was trapping women. It wasn't trapping niggas. And growing up all the time, like, oh, you get up, grow older, women go trap a man. No, it's the other way around. Okay, the women have become the trapeze. Okay, all these dudes out here is trapping the women. Okay. It's a shakedown of the Chanel. Shout out to Rodney, okay? It's a shakedown of the Chanels. The women is going around here getting a bag, living their life, and the dudes is over here just, without a pot to piss in or a window to throw it out of, mad. And it's like, instead of catching up, the conversation is always about how women should be slowing down. And it's like, what? That's not how it's supposed to work. Like, no, because the real reason that y'all are asking a woman to slow down is only coming from a place of control, point blank, period. So yeah, Offset and Cardi, they, Offset, his chest hurt, he'll be all right. Like, ain't got nobody else to be mad at but himself. Like, really. And the next time you want to say you passed the ball, no, say you fumbled it. You fumbled big time. And you thought getting her pregnant this last time was going to be the okie doke for her. Because it was no way, like, and no coincidence that the time in which she was back out, she dropped that music video to that one song. And then literally, like, 4 or 5 months later, she was pregnant. And it was like, damn, because the song was kind of going viral on Twitter or whatever. And then she did the video, dropped it, body was looking right, everything. 4 months later, she pregnant again. And it's like, when I saw that announcement, I was like, oh, damn, Offset and got it again. And it's always the idea of like convincing the girl, like, it's like if I just get her in the love bubble part, we're gonna start hooking up and bouncing one of these times. Like, but I don't need one of these times I can keep it in, because we married, so we've been having raw sex. So it's like that ain't nothing new. And so since we are hooking up, she can't say, well, there's no chance of me getting pregnant. And like, so yeah, a lot of times they be stealthing the women low key and have an idea in their mind, well, maybe I can get her pregnant, But Stefan, he over there doing what the young ones do, okay? I'm just really proud that Cardi finally moved on. The only thing I say now is, bitch, drop the album. Where is the music? Where is the music, Cardi? Like, girl, we are fans of yours. If your anxiety or whatever is got you saying don't drop the music, like, I know she recently dropped this one song, but it's like, drop the album, okay? All right, period. So, hey, what's up, Chrissy? Thank you for tuning in. Hold on, you guys. Let me. I'm gonna go to my friend to my apartment to finish doing it, to finish making it up. For those of y'all that follow me, your girl got her first apartment. And it's crazy to say, like literally, because you know, one of those things like I was, oh my gosh. You know, as a goal that I'm wanting to do, and like when you have goals on like your journal list or your to-do list, and then like you fulfill them, it's actually really fucking crazy. And so now it's like I got my car, I got my apartment, and like so now I'm in this like next leveling up phase, and it's just crazy. Like it's literally just so crazy. So I'm gonna eventually be taking you on the journey of like me decorating like my first apartment. And one of the things I'm doing is like I call it a junk wall basically. And so like you know like all those like metal street signs or whatever on my patio, I want to do like a wall of like the like different kind of crazy like metal signs or whatever. And so it's going on my patio. It's gonna look super cute. And so yeah, I am excited about showing y'all that whole process. But I messaged my friend about going over there later on today. But she just messaged me back about Glorilla. I sent her the clip of Glorilla's new song, Typa. Oh my gosh. I've been waiting. When I tell you I've been waiting for that song to drop because I saw the snippet. I saw the snippet that she had when she was in the bathroom. But she finally dropped the whole song, and now I see why it took so long for her to drop the actual song is because she wanted to do a video with it as well. But her doing a Keisha Cole sample, and then the way she dropped that beat, and it was like love, and then it like break down, and it was like, man, I love me a jumping in Jackson, coming to get it up the ass. Okay, like the way it just dropped, I love that song already. It's like going platinum in my car today on the way to my apartment. So let's see. All right, let me get to the last thing. So last but not least, you guys, Real Housewives of Atlanta. Real Housewives of Atlanta. Shout out Bravo people, because what the hell? What the hell? We got Brit Edie, y'all talking about she's suing NBC and Bravo and all that for $20 million. What? What is happening? What Twilight Zone? First of all, Bravo, y'all got an issue with your hands. All these goddamn lawsuits, all these damn lawsuits. What's going on? So now Brit Edie basically is alleging like harassment, and all these other things. But then in a post, she basically revealed that she found out that it wasn't her in all this the madness that happened at Kenya's hair salon. Basically, she's saying that Bravo told her, she went basically with what Bravo told her, like, oh girl, that was you. And so I'm guessing what we're seeing is her reaction along the way of the season of feeling like, oh my God, everybody's coming to me telling me like, girl, she showed you in that in the hair salon, you sucking zig, okay? She got you all on the poster board. Who is this hoe? That's literally what Kenya said. Who is this hoe? This right here. Who this hoe right here? That's everybody. That's what she was like pointing to basically, and she had a good old eggplant in her mouth. Who is this hoe? So you know, Brittany basically was responding to that. But now we get to the end of the season, she started posting things like, oh, you know, I was harassed and I've thought about it a lot. This is what's gonna happen. I'm gonna keep pursuing. Sorry, y'all. Hold on. And see this right here. Even while I'm looking for Real Housewives of Atlanta, DDG popped up because I guess there's like, you know, the little streamer University or whatever, and he got India Love twerking on him. First of all, India Love, girl, I feel bad for you. I really, really do. But secondly, the fact that he like that she's over there just twerking, like, it just doesn't look good. It doesn't look good. But let me see if it'll show her lawsuit, Brittany Edie's. Because I definitely. Oh snap! Sierra did a remix for Ecstasy. Okay, here it is on the Shade Room. What she wrote on her page. She said, the network contributed to a hostile work environment and sexually harassed her by exposing her to unwelcome, offensive, and sexualized behavior and comments, by requiring her to show up to work after experiencing a gendered attack. Gendered attack. I'm just gonna say attacking her on her womanly woes of her being out there. If she wanna, slang her uchi nana, okay, then let her do that. Okay, as long as you're getting paid for it. I'm gonna say as long as you get properly compensated, because fair exchange is no robbery, point blank, period. But she basically was admitting, like, now, oh, that wasn't me, but I still was, required to be in such a hostile environment after that whole situation. And it's just kind of like, but bravo, wait a minute. Like, that's one thing. The Brittany Edie thing is one thing, but then on the other side, it's like, bravo, y'all told us y'all did an investigation, that y'all handled everything. How did y'all sit there and do an investigation, but then all that shit wasn't Brittany, and it turned out not to be Brittany? Like, what in the actual finnuck? What are you talking about? So that lets us know, once again, y'all lying about that. Y'all lied about doing it. Anytime Bravo says they do an investigation, I don't believe it, never. So when they said they did an investigation with that whole Kenya and Brittany thing, I didn't believe it now one bit. But for it to come out like with full confirmation, because basically we're putting two to two together, the math is math, and of how everybody's like, wait a minute, but you said it's not you, but they didn't tell you to the end of the season that it wasn't you. So then they had you believing that it was you the whole season, basically. So they had a show. So they need a storyline to film with now that Kenya was gone, which was so dumb, because y'all honestly could have left Kenya on there and had true organic storyline of her and of Brit and not Brit and Kenya, overcoming this thing. Y'all have had women talk about worse on here. Shit, like, this would have been true, footages, like real true footages of them talking over and getting over what happened. But because Bravo, I'm trying to tell you, they're trying to free up their budget. They was trying to get rid of Kenya to free up their budgets, because this was giving budget cuts over there on Bravo. So I think they were trying to open up that budget, get rid of Kenya, and hire, some cheaper workers, is what it's giving to me. But yeah, so now Brit Edie's like admitting that it wasn't her, but then the investigation of her having a GUN, all that type of stuff, it was just kind of like, Bravo, y'all so foolish, like full of mess. And so now we as viewers are supposed to watch the rest of the season knowing that it's basically hogwash. And then now this heifer don't show up to the reunion. Girl, you didn't even make it your first season reunion. That's baffling to me. We ain't never seen somebody not do a reunion. And then the fact that Kenya didn't show up to the reunion, I think a lot of that was Bravo saving their own ass. I think that they didn't want the conversation to be had with the whole Kenya and Kenya and Brit situation, just because they wanted to hurry up and sweep it under the rug. And so, not only with trying to hurry up and sweep that situation under the rug, it's like Brittany Edie, I guess, maybe possibly being told before the reunion that that's what happened. And so then, as a way to, basically strike or fight back, she decided not to show up to the reunion. And in retaliation, that could be what she did. And if she did, I mean, is that fair? You got to drop it in the comments if it's fair that, once she finds out from them, they tell her that, hey, girl, by the way, we lied. That wasn't really you. Is it right for her not to show up to the reunion? In retaliation, obviously, social media was lighting Brittany up, okay? Lighting Brittany up about her season. And then not only that, we got the allegations with her insurance, license, and, people call her fraud. She Joanne the scammer. Then not to mention her husband, allegedly be out here in the streets at them 6 parties, okay? It's giving, I mean, we don't know if he's getting bent over, if he's doing the bending. We don't know which one it is, but you know, the fact that she didn't show up to the reunion is crazy. So let me tell you something now, Bravo. Don't you give us no 3 parts. This really could be a 1-part reunion, but we will allow 2 just for the shits and gigs of it. I don't want to see nan more than 2 parts this reunion, point blank, period. But yeah, you guys, that really is it. Don't want this to be too long. I appreciate y'all for tuning in. Y'all drop down in the comments, tell me what you feel about DDG and Halle, him, you know, filing for a temporary restraining order. Do you feel like he's doing it just to be a hater, retaliating? How do you guys feel about Offset, you know, and his, you know, negative words to Cardi in regards to the relationship with Stefan, or just like in that whole situation on over there? And what do you guys feel about Bravo? Is it time for Bravo to hang it up flat screen? Is it time for Bravo to hang it up flat screen? The way that Housewives franchise is going down in the blazes of glory is just so disappointing. So disappointing. But yeah, y'all drop down in the comments. I appreciate you for tuning in, everybody. And I will catch you hoes later. Deuces.